Hello everybody, welcome to Know Your Mac Tutorials, and in this little series we will be doing a whole little commentary on web design. What is web design, how do you make web design, how to get started, everything like that. I have had these requests for quite a while, and I did one video a while back about how to get your iWeb website onto the internet, but people still want to know more. They want to know how to get out of the range of iWeb and really create your own masterpieces, your own designs, your own artwork. So in this little series, I'm going to be showing you a quick little startup of how to kind of embrace all there is to web design and get yourself right into there. So of course, I cannot give you every little tidbit of web design I have ever learned. So in this series, I'm going to be teaching you the basics, and it's eventually going to progress into a whole culminating project of making our own little design, and I'll be looking forward to your guys' comments and suggestions. And I'll also be giving you resources that you can just look up some more information about specific topics and things like that along the road. So in this first video, it's more or less just going to be me preaching to you about the whole concept of web design. What is it? Basically, web design is separated into two parts, the front end and the back end. A lot of times, back end is more classified as web programming and not so much web design. But nonetheless, it's really great to know both sides, not just to be a designer or a programmer. Usually, it's better to know how to design, but then also how to program it. Now, when you hear the term code, you really just imagine a bunch of lines of jibberjash that you really have to kind of wrap your head around and just keep stuffing more and more code in order to create a successful product. And that's really not the way it works in web design. In web design, there's many different languages, and it all starts with the basics, which are, in my opinion, for the front end is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and for the back end is PHP. Now, there are tons of more languages that branch off from these. There are tons of more that are on their own that all do many different things, but I think these are the four basics that every single web designer or web programmer needs to know. Now, the reason why I say web design is a little bit different from other coding is because they really all work together to form this fully operational website. So for example, HTML is your base. It contains pretty much a listing of all the elements that are going to be on your page. Then you take that and you move over to CSS. CSS styles your page. It tells the browser, make this blue, make that text red, something like that. JavaScript is the functionality. So if you want something to pop out from your screen when you hover over this object, JavaScript can do it. And PHP can do many different versatile things. It can, it can validate your forms. It can store information in a database. It can pretty much be the backbone to any website. So when you put them all together, it really isn't as bad as it seems because you have just little bits and pieces that form this whole big thing when put together. So let's just take a look at the rundown for the series. So we're going to start off learning HTML and CSS. Those are the first two languages we're going to learn. And after those are fully complete, we're going to start creating a design in Photoshop. Or if you don't have Photoshop, that's fine. You can use GIMP, even Paint, whatever you'd like. And we're going to create a nice design and code it for the browser. After that, we're going to be adding a little bit of JavaScript to our page. So we'll learn a little bit about how JavaScript works and then start off placing it on our page and figuring out what we want to do with what, how the functionality should be incorporated and stuff like that. Then at the end, I'm going to go over a few things with PHP. Now just note that if you plan on skipping right to the PHP part of this series, do note that it is important to fully understand the consequences of using PHP as well. As it is a back-end programming language, this also means that people can exploit it to hack into your website and just maliciously use your code against you. So before you put out a fully working version of a website using PHP, make sure you fully understand what each line of PHP code does, and also figure out if there's any way that people can exploit the information on your website. We will be going over a little bit about PHP safety and how to keep your website free from hackers when we get to that point in this series. But for now, if you go to the bottom of your page, you will see a little tiny hotbar type of thing. It's basically YouTube's way of showing you all the videos in the series. You can go right down there and select the next video and continue watching.